Greetings, Mwalim.
Hey, peace. How are you?
So, Mwalim, you've been in the studio quite a bit lately, right?
Oh yeah, well COVID had us locked down, so no place else to really hang.
Exactly. And so, we have some really nice tracks that I love to play. And starting with Paradise Over Peace, is this a song that you recorded in Polyphonic Studio?
Oh yeah, recorded, produced, mixed, mastered, the whole nine. Yeah, that one actually is going to come out June 6th. Um, so you're actually premiering it, believe it or not. But yeah, that's definitely a polyphonic production as part of the South Coast Thump and Soul movement that we have going out of Polyphonic. It was my own little
Wonderful.
solo contribution to that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And so, can you tell me about the origin of this song? Who's on the song in terms of musicians, or did you do all of the arrangements and production for it? And also, how did the title come about?
All right. Well, yeah, I did the production and the arrangement, but ZYG 808 is playing drums on it. Aside from being a hip hop artist, he's actually a rather formidable jazz drummer. A lot of people don't realize that, but he's playing drums on it. Friend of mine who we call Charlie Sagamore came on and played trumpet on one of the versions. And well, I should explain what I'm saying. One of the versions. Well, so being a Gemini, I decided to come out with two versions of the song on the same day. So you have the Bippy version, which is a little jazzy, a little funky, and a little old school groove. And then I'm doing what I call the urban version, which is more on the house music side of it. And couldn't decide which to roll with, so they're both coming out on June 6th.
Nice, nice. So, premiering on June 6th. However, we're premiering it here on Nerdacity podcast for the first time.
So this is the true premiere. I should say the rest of the world can access it on June 6th, but your listeners get to hear the real premiere.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and so we're going to play Paradise Over Peace, the Bippy mix by Mwalim, and recorded at Polyphonic Studio right now. Please make sure you listen.
You came into my life. This is what I see. This is what I see. If given a choice between paradise and pain, between paradise, I choose paradise. I choose paradise. That's why I'm with you. That's why I'm with you.
That was a wonderful, wonderful song, Mwalim. Paradise Over Peace, definitely something that you can groove to. Now, please tell us about this next track that I have for the listeners that you also recently recorded, and it's titled The Storm.
All right. Well, The Storm is actually, that's Groovalato. That's the Groovalato's record. That actually just came out May 19th in honor of Malcolm X's birthday. The Storm is actually a revisit. It's a song that I wrote years and years ago. Um, as a, I was actually, I would say probably just recently out of college, and it was just sort of a reflection on the social conditions that young black people were up against at that point. And what I found was that the same stuff that was going on 35 years ago is going on right now, and the same issues that we're up against. And so it just seemed like an appropriate time to come out with a storm, and especially since we were coming up at that point on the anniversary of George Floyd's murder, it just sort of seemed like it's a storm. Definitely a storm. Some type of change, some type of cleansing, some type of movement has to happen. So that's what the song's about.
Indeed. And please, can you also just revisit for me the Groovalatos? Can you give me some background on the group, who's in the group, the members, and what the instruments are?
Oh, certainly. The Groovalatos are a soul funk ensemble that actually started back in 2009. It was founded by, well, the person I should say brought it together, because a group of us founded it, but the guy who brought us all together was a guitarist by the name of Jamie Wolf, who was actually one of the last of the Detroit session players, the Funk Brothers, and he was a touring blues player for a long time. But he brought a drummer named Eddie Ray Johnson and I together to start jamming, and Eddie Ray and I fit like hand in glove. Keyboard player and drummers who can lock into each other are actually a very rare thing to find, but we vibed immediately, and we kept jamming and kept playing, and out of that grew the band, the Groovalatos. James Wolf had to leave because he had issues with arthritis, couldn't play guitar anymore, and Eddie Ray Johnson and I decided to keep the band going. We picked it up in 2013 and kept pushing and kept playing and kept touring around and around, and we produced an album called Ask Your Mama. And in 2017 was when that album came out, and we called it Ask Your Mama because the thing with the Groovalatos was we were all older players. We'd all been session players, touring players. We had our time with the music business, the music industry. We were sick of the music business and the music industry, and kind of just wanted to do things our own way on our own terms. And that band became sort of that liberation, that freedom train, if you will. And so we kept going. And with Ask Your Mama, we also did an innovative thing where we did a street corner tour. We would actually set up guerrilla concerts on street corners all around New England and New York and jam. And what we found from doing that was we ended up getting 4 Grammy nominations that first year, 2 in pop and 2 in R&B for the album.
Wow, that's
and then
amazing.
We were surprised. Yeah. But the part that was really did it for us was the next year we got 2 more Grammy nominations off the same album, which is almost unheard of. So we got 2 years of Grammy nominations from one album in 3 different categories: pop, R&B, and rock. And
wow.
Eddie Ray, like I said, we talked about him with Polyphonic. Eddie Ray passed away last June. And so now ZYG 808, who was actually Eddie Ray's student as a drummer, is now the band's drummer. And what we've also done is we consider ourselves now more of an ensemble than a band because, we ZYG has a solo thing going. I'm stepping back into the solo arena, and it's kind of a project that, we come in and out of as musicians. And that's really what defines an ensemble versus a band, because we come together and we can play and we're a band, but at the same time, it's a collective of pretty much solo artists right now. And I guess in a nutshell, that's the Groovalados. And the Groovalados have been releasing new songs every month. Starting in February, we came out with a song called I Love Them Big Girls. And then yes, we do.
I love the title though. Shout out. Yes, exactly.
Shout out to the plus size beauties. So, we came out with I Love Them. I'm sorry, that was March. We came out with I Love Them Big Girls. And then in April, we dropped a record called You Never Told Me, which is kind of, the thing with the Groovalados, we're more like our sound is more classic R&B, classic soul. And it's really kind of funny because what is considered classic R&B and soul is no longer categorized as R&B and soul. It's called jam band. It's called indie pop. It's called all kinds of things because, R&B is now, what they call R&B is rather different than what we know or what our generation would know.
Exactly.
But with it, so, Them Big Girls has kind of like a ska feel to it. The song You Never Told Me is more like a tune by the Spinners.
And now we're premiering The Storm, a recording by Mwalim and his band, the Groovalados, released on May 19th. And this is a world premiere. Hope you enjoy it.
Every day is a good day. This one goes out to Eddie Ray Johnson. We love you, brother. Rain and change. Tired of you saying that my generation doesn't care. What have you left for us? Signs of light of despair. Waters are polluted. People are living on the streets. Internalized depression is a tool they use to defeat us. Call us the lost generation, but who led us down the wrong path? Problems with the way we dress, but your ideals usually make us laugh. Say you know what's wrong with me. Winds of change might blow you away. Get ready for the storm. Get ready for the storm. Get ready for the storm. Ready for the storm. Once you were a panther, now you're just a cat in a suit. solution is a mental revolution. The first step to solution is a mental revolution. 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 The first step to solution is a mental revolution. First step to solution is a mental revolution. First step to solution is a mental revolution. Say that you want our respect, but how can you even respect yourself? Corporate job said you arrived, but did you ever think of anyone else? What did your success do for them? Moon high them cause of what he might say. Get ready for the storm. Get ready for the storm. Get ready for the storm. Get ready for the first step to solution is a mental revolution. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for the storm. Is a mental revolution. Get ready for the storm. Is a mental revolution. The first step to solution is a mental revolution. The first step to solution is a mental revolution.
And you just finished listening to The Storm, Mwalim, the Grubelatos. This music is powerful and reminiscent of the legendary Gil Scott-Heron. Music for the times that is timeless. And let's continue on with my interview with Mwalim on Nerdacity.
And please, can you also just revisit for me the Grubelatos? Can you give me some background on the group, who's in the group, the members, and what the instruments are?
Oh, certainly, certainly. The Grubelatos are a soul funk ensemble that actually started back in 2009. It was founded by, well, person I should say brought it together, because a group of us founded it, but the guy who brought us all together was a guitarist by the name of Jamie Wolf, who was actually one of the last of the Detroit session players, the Funk Brothers, and he was a touring blues player for a long time. But he brought a drummer named Eddie Ray Johnson and I together to start jamming, and Eddie Ray and I, like, you know, fit like hand in glove. Keyboard player and drummers who can lock into each other are actually a very rare thing to find, but we vibed immediately, and we kept jamming and kept playing, and out of that grew the band, the Grubelatos. James Wolf had to leave because he had issues with arthritis, couldn't play guitar anymore, and Eddie Ray Johnson and I decided to keep the band going. We picked it up in 2013 and kept pushing and kept playing and kept touring around, and we produced an album called Ask Your Mama. And in 2017 was when that album came out, and we called it Ask Your Mama because the thing with the Grubelatos was we were all older players. We'd all been session players, touring players. We had our time with the music business, the music industry. We were sick of the music business and the music industry and kind of just wanted to do things our own way on our own terms. And that band became sort of that liberation, that freedom train, if you will.
New music alert. And you're still listening to the latest episode of Nerdacity featuring my guest, Mwalim. And we're in a listening party, listening to the funky sounds, the groovy sounds, the jazzy sounds of Mwalim, and also the Grubelatos. Mwalim has new music coming out. Definitely check him out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and his website, DaPhunkee This last track that we're so fortunate to hear is titled Out of the Woods. Be sure to check him out on Apple Music and also Spotify. Hope you enjoy it. and you were just listening to episode 32 of Nerdacity Podcast. I'm DuEwa Frazier, and I'm the host of this digital podcast. It was great that you joined me for a listening party of new music by Mwalim, multifaceted artist, poet, songwriter, producer, professor, studio owner of Polyphonic Studios, Groovalado's band member, musician, and so much more. We were fortunate to hear 3 new tracks from Mwalim tonight: Paradise Over Peace, The Storm, and last but not least, Out of the Woods. I hope you'll check out his new music on Spotify and Apple Music. Visit his website at DaPhunkee and follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I hope you'll follow Nerdacity Podcast on Instagram at Nerdacity Podcast, tweet me, and also follow on Twitter at NerdacityPod1. Visit my artists and author site at DuEwaWorld.com. I also think that you might consider listening to past episodes featuring award-winning and notable poets and writers, in addition to my cultural commentary on the podcast. Subscribe at youtube.com/DuEwaWorld. And if you're so inclined, feel free to give a small donation to support future episodes at paypal.me/DuEwaFrazier or anchor.fm/DuEwaFrazier. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.